My current outlook on life is so much better than what it was. And again, it's that little denial wheel. Somebody showed it to me and it really stuck in my head because, you know, it was little stages on where you are in acceptance of tragedies and things in life. And it's getting better. I think with all I'm doing and all the structuring, school has really been wonderful for me. It's just a complete change. It's a new shift, a new focus for me. Like I say, I've raised children, I've run businesses. Suddenly I feel like a child again. Suddenly I feel that the world is opening up again for me. I can sit in school in the common areas and I sit with these high school kids or college kids, and I hear them talking about what they did last night and who they were with last night and, you know, sexual conversation. I go, hey, you know, guess what? And boy, their mouths drop open and I've got a captive audience, and they're not aware of what's going on with the HIV problem. I've spoken to an infectious disease class in my college. So I'm finding the more I participate, the more I communicate, life is getting better, but it's still really easy for me to climb back into my shell. Really easy. So I have to be really aware of that. I will add one more thing, that I do believe that as negative as this diagnosis may have been initially, I've had people tell me that I am now strapped with a responsibility, and I thought, oh my God, what responsibility, you know, this is ridiculous. I've been given a death sentence, but no, it's not it. I look at life differently, and I'm trying to make it a positive, you know, experience. Life is different, and it's just a whole new outlook. And you know, it would be nice to possibly meet a partner who could share and understand, you know, but who knows. But so they're really, again, we can all look at things in a negative way or a positive way, or we can combine it, you know, and there's a lot of good to come out of this. And I have been given a responsibility. I believe it is important for me to make people aware. And in fact, I wrote an essay in English Comp that BCAP actually published in their newsletter, and it was called A Strange Sense of Obligation. And that's kind of what I feel that I have now. It is a strange sense of obligation, but I feel obligated to my friends, my family, my community, to open the doors to a problem that's not going away. It was an interesting essay. We write essays, we do the rough drafts, and then we share them with our peers in class. So I wrote the rough draft of the essay, and it basically was about when I was diagnosed, the doctor and I discussed that my children needed to be taken in and tested. Well, they were 6 and 9 at the time. So I took them in. No, actually I called my dad because I was at work. Somebody asked me, why did you call your dad? Did you do it because you were afraid? I said, no, I did it because I was at work. And then I got to thinking, well, wait a minute now, maybe I did do it because I was afraid. Regardless, Dad took them in, and he called me about a half hour later, and he says, you're gonna have to come into the doctor's office. So at this point, I'm like, oh shit, I'm freaking out now. I said, why, what's wrong? He says, well, Paul, my youngest, who was 6, is under a table, and Matt, who was 9, is in a corner. Neither of them had had blood tests, and so they were scared. That's all it was. But that's what the essay consisted of. It was testing the children. Well, my peers, after reading the rough draft, I don't know if you've ever heard of a thisibelieve.com or org. That's what the essay was. It was a this I believe essay. And so my peers said, so what is it you believe? What do you say in here? This is pretty negative. I'm like, oh God, yes, it is pretty negative. So I rewrote it. The final draft was due, and the episode with the children was the first paragraph, and then it went on to potential partners, letting them know, family and friends, letting them know, community, making them aware, and it just kind of scaled down as to what my obligations are now. What do I hope others can learn from my experience, my story? That's a two-pronged answer, and I will be honest and say that the first prong of this answer is I do this for selfish reasons. This is how I give back, this is how I feel better, and I hope that just one out of the group that I speak to picks up some little bit of information that might help them be more aware of themselves and how precious life is and how valuable their lives are, and how unique we all are. I've learned in biology that we have a million different chances to be who we are. I mean, so we are very unique, and we need to just appreciate who we are. If we're not happy with ourselves, how can we better the world around us? So, I'm a unique individual, and we all are, and you need to be aware of that and protect yourself, take care of yourself, and love yourself.